Hey, I'm talking to no one in particular but this camera, but that's cool. The camera doesn't judge. So I'm going to talk about isolating the variable in an equation. And this is going to be one of the most important things in algebra because that's how you're going to get all your answers. So let's suppose you have an equation, 3y equals 2x plus 13. So now what you want to do is to take away the constant from the side with the x. So you want to isolate x in this case. So I'd suggest if you're watching this, you write this down. So 3y equals 2x plus 13. So 13, the positive 13, is going to be the constant. And how you take it away is you subtract 13 on both sides. So now there's going to be no constant on that side. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So after subtracting 13 from both sides, you get to 3y minus 13 equals 2x. Now the x has a term called a coefficient. That's the one that's being multiplied to the x. So you have to divide both sides by 2 to eliminate that coefficient. So all you have is x. And that's how you isolate the term. So in the end, you're supposed to have x equals 3y minus 13 divided by 2. That whole quantity divided by 2. So how does that work, you might ask? Well, it works by this principle that allows you to, if you do it to one side, you do it to the other. I forget what it's called. I blanked out, sorry about that. But if you subtract one side by 13, you subtract the other side by 13, it's all good. And it'll be equal. Think about it as weight. So if you have a 12-pound weight on one side and you have a 12-pound weight on the other side, and you take 12 pounds from both sides, that weight is still going to be balanced. Anyways, moving forward, so let's say that you're subtracting now. So let's say you have an equation, 3y equals 2x minus 13. So how would you balance that? Well, you'd have to add 13 to both sides. And after you add 13, that would take away the negative 13 from the right side with the x. And I'll move it to the side with the y. So now it becomes 3y plus 13 equals 2x. Now you divide by 2 because that will eliminate the x on both sides. And that'll leave you with x equals the quantity 3y minus 13 divided by 2. Now, it doesn't always work with only numbers 2 and 13. It works with any number you choose. So let's go with 5y equals 6x plus 4. Now in this case, you're going to have to again take away the constant first. So subtract 4 from each side. So when you go from 5y equals 6x plus 4 to 5y minus 4 equals 6x. Next thing is you divide by 6 on both sides to get only the x alone. Now after you do that, you'll get the equation x equals the quantity, and this is going to be the numerator, 5y plus 4 divided by 6. So it works with both negative and adding. What you have to do is think about what must I add or subtract from this side to remove the constant. After that, you must think about what must I divide or multiply to get rid of the coefficient. And that's how you isolate a variable. Thanks. See ya.